Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to go over a topic that I've touched on before, but a lot of you guys are new, plus, you guys are asking about it. How do you know an ex still wants you, and is it your ex avoidant wants you, and is it correlated to how you left the relationship? And yes, it is. I personally believe that it's best if you left when you genuinely want to. Not because you wanted a reaction, not just because your friends told you, not because some person on the internet, including myself, told you to leave, not because someone said no contact is the best way to change an avoidant. I don't think that's the best way. And from what I've seen and what I've been seeing working with patients is that usually if you genuinely leave, that is usually when avoidants kind of realize that you cared about them and that they kind of brought you to that point. Whether they meant to or not doesn't really matter, but that's what occurred. And so that's kind of the main thing. It is your choice, and that's the main part of it. Now, we're going to break up all of those things as well. But I think some of y'all, I think you leave genuinely, and I think you have left genuinely. And now you're wondering if it was the right decision, or if your ex regrets losing you, or if there's a chance of getting back together after time has passed. And I think that's pretty normal. Yes, you left genuinely, but that doesn't mean the love isn't there. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So typically with avoidance, it's not the act of leaving. And I think people get that confused. The act of leaving is not what helps them to realize that they still want you. A lot of avoidants are married and their wife or husband has never left and they are happy. But sometimes it gets to the point where you want to leave for whatever reason. It's the way you behaved emotionally in that moment, emotionally charged situations, which means you can use this in a relationship that you don't plan on leaving. It's the same thing, but it translates also when you leave. That means, are you arguing? Are you disagreeing? Are you fighting to get your way? Whatever it is in these charged moments. And how does that look like? How does it look like when you argue, when you disagree, when you don't get what you want, even when you guys are about to break up? What do you look like? That is the main way that avoidants regret losing you, because they saw the genuine version of you and they didn't give you their genuine version. And that is why it hurts for them, because you gave them your all and they did not do the same. They didn't do the relationship that service. And that's part of the regret, okay? And so the first one is an interesting characteristic of this, but it is something that I see a lot in therapy, okay? You gave them like many chances, is just the best way to put it. You tried many times, giving them plenty of opportunity to change, and they did not change. Now, the tricky part is often when you leave, when doing this, they're like begging you to stay, and then you're kind of already done. And so that's why it gets really tricky. But I'm going to give an example that I see a lot, and it's usually some of the main reasons why couples come into therapy, okay? Let's say I have a fearful avoidant female and her husband is dismissive avoidant. And he's a very stubborn man. He doesn't like to listen to anybody. He wants his wife to basically have like no emotions, no expectations of him, and he can do whatever he wants, but he's still loyal. He doesn't cheat. He doesn't do any of those things, but he also doesn't give her any emotional space, and maybe he's barely told her he loves her. Maybe he never has. And she's a fearful avoidant, so it didn't seem that bad at first for her. But as the years go on, maybe they've had a couple kids, they have dogs, and now she's feeling, maybe she's even healing herself. So now she wants more from him, and he's like not really wanting to do that. He raises the children very like harsh, and she doesn't like that. And so she's feeling really sad. And she's told him many times, be more gentle with me, be more gentle with the kids, speak more romantic to me, take me on dates, whatever it is, connect in the bedroom. We haven't had, intimacy in a long time. And he's like, that's too much pressure. I'm your husband. Isn't that enough? Whatever it is. So he's like very disagreeing with this, lady, hypothetical lady. And then one day she's had enough. She's decided, I've tried everything. I really have. I don't think this environment is safe for me. I don't think it's safe for the kids. And I don't think it's safe for our family. I think it's better that we divorce. And suddenly now he remembers everything she said, even though before apparently he couldn't remember, or he didn't care as much. Now he suddenly cares. And a lot of times what happens is they think, oh, if an avoidant does that, it's fake. It's not. Avoidants react differently to emotions and actions than other attachment styles. Avoidants see emotions as fleeting. They don't see it as completely valuable. They take action as more valuable. So if you're saying I'm leaving, that's an action. Saying I'm hurt that you're not giving me attention, that's an emotion. And so that's the reason why when you're about to leave now, they suddenly change. It doesn't mean that they're just trying to rope you in and trick you. That's not usually what it is. If they're a genuine avoidant and they truly love you, but just the attachment issue is a problem, that's what happens. And so what you can do if that's the case, maybe you did leave them. They usually do want to win you back and they do want to change for you. And if you want to give them a chance, I would say it's a good opportunity too, because it's not a manipulative tactic, it's genuine. The next one is you left with respect and set clear reasons to why you left. You explain that. So let's use this example of this wife and husband that we kind of came up with, okay? Let's say she said, I want a divorce because I feel like no matter how much I communicate with you, you shut me down. Sometimes you raise your voice, and I feel unloved because you never tell me you love me. You're not very affectionate, and we haven't had intimacy in the bedroom in years. I feel like these are valid reasons to leave. So she listed it out. Now he knows very, very, very clearly this is why she left me. I can fix those things. And if you did that, I'm sure you did it multiple times. I'm not saying it's your fault. And you left with that action piece. Usually that's when avoidants realize I really regret doing this because I know why this person left. I can't sit there and pretend it was anything more than exactly the list that my ex told me, okay? The next one is you did not call them names or, I guess, insult them in whatever way in the entire conversation of the divorce. So let's just say you said, I want a divorce, and you were very respectful about it. You didn't call them names. That doesn't mean that you're becoming all romantic. You want to divorce this person, but you were very clear. You didn't say you're emotionally detached and selfish. You didn't say that. You said, I don't feel loved. In this example, right? I don't feel loved. I feel confused all the time about where I stand. And I feel like you just being my husband is not enough. I want you to show me every day some version that you care about me, whether it's that you tell me, whether it's that you hug me, whether it's that you work on some of our issues, whether it's that you listen and don't interrupt me when I talk. You are explaining it from your perspective. You're not saying, hey, this is a problem that you have, you're mentally ill, whatever it is. You're not saying that. It makes them really realize how serious you are, and they can't use that subconscious belief that, oh, people are just emotional, because you weren't being emotional. You were being rational, and that's the language they speak. And the last one is interesting, but I really feel like it's important. You didn't tell them, never contact me again. Why this is important, it's not always the case, but when someone says never contact me again, avoidants perceive that first as a boundary, but second, and probably more importantly, an emotional response. And so if you did not say that, that makes them feel like you legitimately are done with them emotionally, but you're still being rational about it. If you say never contact me again, I'm done with you, you're, disgusting, whatever it is, they know that you have emotions. And in their mind, they're thinking, okay, you're not logical, you're not rational, you're going to come back, or you still want me, or it's not my fault, it's just you're too emotional, whatever it is. But if you don't mention that type of thing, they usually understand, okay, first of all, I have a chance to contact you again. I can reconcile. We can get back together. I can fight for the relationship. But it also proves that you are rational. So let's go ahead and summarize. After many times of giving them a chance, that's when you left. The second one, you left with respect and with clear reasons why you left. The third one is you didn't call them names or call them out or insult them. And the fourth one is you did not say, don't ever contact me again, or something of that sort. You were clear that you're just leaving for your own reasons, and there's not really a grudge necessarily, that you're processing it on your own time. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.